Easy clap. I think we're ready to go.
Yeah. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my talk show. I'm your host, Ellen Rebel. This is my talk show, Late Night Rebel, and we have our special podcast today. It's the Callous Row podcast, long time coming. So, yeah, welcome, everybody. Hopefully you enjoy it. We'll be here for about an hour, hour and a half. We will take questions from the chat. Not right now. We're just going to discuss topics, about Callous Row, about our characters, our progression, things like that. So anyway, from my right here, starting with Arcadum, explain who you are and what your character is and all that good stuff.
My name is Arcadum. I play Rook, and I am an absolute waste of time. That's it.
That's a lot. Doubt. Whatever.
No, okay, but in all seriousness, I guess I really don't feel comfortable calling myself the creator of Callous Row, but I did plant the seed, I suppose.
I mean, you're the host.
I'm the RP lead.
Sure.
I'm the RP lead.
The brain.
And the brain, I guess, yeah. And the story writer, and anybody who knows me knows what I'm about. I play D&D, I write stories, I make worlds, things like that. That's it. That's all I really am.
Yeah.
I'm an example of what happens if you let a nerd spend too much time incubating in the moon juice.
Mm-hmm.
Transform into a being of uncomfortable nerdity. Oh, Jesus.
Unlimited power.
Unlimited power.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
There you go.
Kier?
Should I go? Yeah. Hello, I'm Kier.
I'm the Kier. I play Kong in Callous Row. I'm also the nerd, the primary map maker. It was me and Sketcher at least, and with help of Wi-Fi and Spaz at least in the beginning, who spent 7 months or whatever working on the map for season 1, and we're now working on season 2. So that's me. Whoa. I've also known Rebel for forever, but that's another thing entirely.
True. Sketchu?
Okay, I guess I'm Sketchu. I worked on the map and stuff as well, and I play as Bo in Callous Row, the little mushroom character that does magic and stuff and runs a noodle shop.
And stabbed me.
The protagonist.
And stabbed you.
Damn.
Botagnist.
Spats?
Hi, I'm Spats. I play Nia, which is the character I'm in right now.
Whoa.
That's about it.
Wow. There you go. Can't believe that's everything you do in life.
Yeah. That's about
She's also a great artist.
Yeah, artist.
And a wonderful person.
One of those things.
Yeah.
Big sparkles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not right now. I don't have that on my avatar. Booza's turn.
It's
Hello
Booza.
everyone, my name is Booza. I portray Callous Row's most reasonable mayor and bank manager, Coach Eric. That's about it. You go for it, Gambit.
Booza is an accomplished singer as well. And role player.
Very nice, very nice.
Go ahead, Gambit.
Alright, I'm Gambit. I play Dogu in Callous Row, and a little more recently I've been helping out making Callous Row itself, the map and all that.
Yeah. Working on Udon currently.
And Udon, yeah. Smashing my head into Udon and figuring out, like, oh, this is cool. We can do cool stuff that we couldn't do before. Very nice.
He was the lead on the Starship map, which is a very difficult
the
map to make.
Retribution.
Oh, you did that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I made that.
And he did a fantastic job.
Mm.
It was very good.
It was awesome.
Alright, hi, I'm Either. I play Rayleigh and I dance.
Very well.
Nice.
Yeah, I pay you a lot of money.
Yeah.
True. Actually true.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, in RP, yes.
Yeah, RP. Yeah. Anyway, I might as well explain my character. So I play Ryder. I'm the mechanic. Well, one of the many mechanics of Callous Row, but I'm the only one that actually fixes vehicles and the only actual licensed mechanic. All of the other ones are frauds. Don't, trust me. I'm, an actual mechanic, only owns the only cars in Callous Row. No one can afford one. Pretty good.
I'm watching you, boy.
What? Okay, man. You work for me. Remember that. I also ASMR whisper, so every time I talk, I'm like, "Hey, what's up? Want to do a deal?" Whatever. Anyway, next topic. So let's talk about our characters have progressed over time. So obviously, Callous Row has been going on for how long? Like 7 months, something like that.
Well, Callous Row began in October of last year, and before that, the actual creation of it began in January, where I was in the presentation room with Sketchu, screaming at her.
It's been.
I
it's
remember.
Been, it's been almost exactly a year of map development.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So
Kind of surreal.
yeah.
But episodes.
We had
how many?
24.
How many? Yeah.
24 episodes.
Isn't it more?
If you well, I missed 2, so it's 26 actually, but by my count it's 24.
Yeah.
We also had that beach episode. That was pretty good.
I guess if you count the OVA.
So
it's
it's shenanigans.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
It was all a dream.
Yeah. Anyway, so
27 total.
So obviously, everybody's character has like progressed or changed over time. I guess I'll start with mine for a little bit. So obviously, my character is Ryder the mechanic. Now it's funny because when I first created my character, I actually wanted to be a thief. I actually wanted to like have like a day job as being a mechanic and then a night job. Even it's old nighttime in Callous Row. But like halfway through like a session, I would just start stealing or becoming a thief. And I was under the impression that I could like break into people's houses, but it didn't really end up happening. And you can't really steal money because it's like kind of like not really a thing, kind of. So I sort of changed my motives as Callous Row developed. So I started eventually going into like bargaining and like doing favors, and I started becoming a construction worker where I started building like makeshift barricades and. I did sell at least one car, sold like that like hover bike to Karita's character, and that was about it. I shot some zombies, and I didn't die too, and yeah, so there's that. I didn't die.
Not dying is really good.
Yeah, true. I didn't die because I played a zombie or one of the so I can't die.
Helps.
Yeah, that helps. But yeah, that's just my character's progression. Basically, I'm just a mechanic. I tried to group up all the mechanics to create like an engineers league at one point. So behind the hospital was like an empty apartment or whatever, right? Or not apartment, but like building, right? You know how on the other side there was the Hellbats? I wanted to have my own clubhouse, but for like the engineers, it didn't really work out.
I mean, you're gonna have a big scrapyard. That's the plan. So you'll have.
Oh hell yeah!
There we go.
I'll just be like Scooter from Borderlands, basically. I want to catch a ride, brother.
Want to catch a ride?
Yeah.
Catch a ride to heaven.
Yeah, basically.
Isn't that basically Sci-Fi?
Yeah, he's dead though.
Okay, what? He wants to make it. He's making
Not
a
his new
truck there.
character.
Anyway, Arcadum, how has your character progressed since the start to now?
Oh man, where to even start? Well, I originally designed Rook to be a character that people could rely on, because the idea was that there needed to be. I didn't want to do what like other RPs are doing, where there's a main character. Like that's what Ascension has. Ascension has a main character, and because it has a main character, that means that there are certain things that the audience knows is true. Like the main character won't die, for example, because it's in the past. You know that's not going to happen. And you know that there are certain things that are going to happen, and I didn't want a predetermined line like that, and I didn't want it just because it was my RP that I was going to be in that sort of position. But I also knew that in order for a narrative to make any sense and to make sure that we had enough roleplay power to get people interested, there needed to be a focus, and that's why I decided to make Rook the way that I did. That he'd be, rebellious, a little chaotic, have good morals, but be really reckless, so there'd be a reason to have other people to do things for him, because he'd be able to not do some things. I gave him a military background because I have a military background, and I'm comfortable role-playing those types of characters. And I put him in the situation that he is in order to fill the role of like a quest-giving kind of centralized character, but not the most important one. In fact, with the possible exception of the last couple of episodes, where I became more relevant. There were times when Rook wasn't relevant at all, and also that's doubled on the fact that I have to switch into the DM model that Sketchu made for me in order to dungeon master the different things that are happening, so that we can bypass the limitations that VR chat has. So I guess all in all, Rook remained more or less the same because he needs to be a static, stable character. But one very nice piece of development that I did have was that Rook's relationship with Faye and with Locke and with Coach Eric started to reveal more exposition about the overarching sort of culture of the universe that we have. Because through conversations with Locke, I was able to reveal how bad the war was between the Galactic Union and the mega corporations. With Faye, I'm able to show the more horrible side of war and the mental scars that Rook has to deal with on a daily basis. And that was even more so whenever I drank the mushroom juice that they made that one episode, and I had a PTSD flashback of combat. And it was while that was also humorous, the point is that those were ingredients to reveal world exposition through the filter of my character. But in true development-wise, Rook has not changed that much because he needs to be a stable, sort of centralized character in order to keep everybody else together. But he did go on a Rock Maga, which is kind of an orcish nonsense word that means blood right, because one of my family was attacked, and so I got to go on this big like Doom Eternal style murder mission, and then I was defeated, and that was kind of like an extra tie-in to the main storyline. So it's definitely one of those things where the reckless nature of my orcish heritage is represented through the consequences of it. And there's also a romance subplot with Rook trying to find someone to settle down with. So there's that as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheer?
Cool. Yeah. So I play Conk, and the question was, I guess, the character development stuff. So Conk, what has Conk? Conk has done a fuck ton of stuff. Like in the beginning, I was just thinking Conk was like kind of like a New York hustler, like selling drugs and cooking food. But then kind of like as things continued, like especially since we were having the shop open the most, I got a lot of connection with people, and at least I guess a somewhat friendly connection because people ate food at my store, so they had at least some kind of friendly reactions. I kind of became, at least in part, like not a community leader, but I managed to organize people and like do stuff and like get stuff sorted. Like I was like, if someone was in trouble, like, hey Conk, can you help beat up this corp? And like, no problem. And then I guess kind of like became the guardian of the road during a little bit. But then that had its own storyline where, because we murked too many corporations or corp people, it turned hostile. But that was fun because then we managed to have like some kind of interesting talks with Busa and the rest about like how to move forward and how to try to cooperate with the corporations and stuff. And that was interesting RP. And other than that, we had of course the whole Magic Arc stuff with Bo and stuff. And
God damn it! I knew I was gonna do it. And as soon as I saw that it was an option, I knew it was gonna happen. As soon as I
you could turn off audience cheers. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna go unfuck myself.
But yes.
Anyway.
But that was basically like my character. Like I didn't do that much stuff in the end of the season, primarily because we needed especially some extra DM stuff for that part, and also I was like diminished in power, but that was a good excuse for me to help out to make the finale as good as possible. But but Kong stayed like more or less the same as a person. Like he's all. I mean, of course, Rook is more for like a quest giver, but at least Kong's at least a place to be. Like like the newsroom is always open. People can always go there and sit and just be. So it's good to have like that kind of community place that people can go to. So it's gonna keep going.
There's also the limitation of the fact that you're an assistant DM as well.
Yeah.
So you can't have true like character intuition because you have knowledge your recuses you from stuff like that.
I mean, it's also like when I play Conk, like I don't always play Conk like fully like what would Conk do? I sometimes play like, okay, I have these 11 options. Which one of these options would push the storyline forward? And then sometimes I push those more because since I also make the map and prepare all the things for it. I want to make sure that, of course, I would do things Conk would do, of course, but I also sometimes in character and all character try to like promote certain story arcs so we can get things
like
going.
what's the
be interesting.
most interesting action Conk would take or something?
Yeah. DM stuff, basically.
Yeah.
That's Conk.
All right, sketch you.
Wow. Okay. Character development for Bo. Oh God.
You had the most character development.
Started off as like I was just meant to be like assistant chef or sous chef or Conk sort of thing, with like brother, sister, or like just relative mushrooms or something that grow in the same cave or whatever. And I'm meant to be magical, but didn't really have much of an idea or interest at first. That was the idea of my character, at least. Other stuff like she didn't have much of an education, like other than basic stuff, and most of her opinions were based off of Conk's opinions, all that kind of thing.
But definitely being a bad parent, it was good.
Yep, bad parent. And then I had like criteria that I was thinking of for Bo, like some crazy magical thing, and then Bo would not be a small like goblin character anymore, and actually fix her growth stunt thing. That's why she didn't have like an arm. She just had like 2 sticks shoved in her stub at the beginning.
Yeah.
Then some weird spirit stuff happened, and like, well, there's the weird magical thing. So that was fun.
I mean, you basically started both game thing growth and magic, and both of those got unlocked over time.
Yeah. And I don't know, it's like different events happened where Bo's opinions kind of deviated from Conk's and stuff, or the whole she didn't trust robots so much that she trusted a corporate person to walk with her in an alleyway, and then she ended up in a lab. That's that
was such a great
That was such a good arc.
That was so good. That arc was awesome.
It's like we both didn't like the robots, and it's like, I trust you more than the robots. Let's go.
Mistake.
Biggest mistake.
And Bo's just generally interested in like mushroom stuff, so either working with a scientist or clinic people that want samples, she's like, hell yeah, buddy, take another chunk of my arm, do some of the mushroom stuff. So that didn't go so well. But it's like, yeah. When that happened, when like Rana came up to me and it's like, oh, I'd like some samples, so he followed me back to the lab. I'm like, okay. In the back of my head, I'm like, oh god, oh fuck, oh god. That was so good. And then the bloody, I got like light powers. That little light in my hand when the shadow thing came towards me or something, and I attacked it. I was like, this is going to be prestidigitation or something. And like, wait a minute, I just dispelled a demon with this. Uh-oh. This isn't that.
That's something you...
I'm the light bearer.
And then the protagonist was created.
A downward spiral of protagonist stuff.
Yeah, I saw the animation. It's like, bitch.
Oh, yeah.
2 days later.
Yeah, a little animation I made.
Very good.
Yeah, it's like I was outside a zombie cave or something. They're like, you gotta go in, you're the light bearer. And I'm there like, I don't want to fucking go in, man. I just want to make noodles, man. And then a couple hours later, I'm prison shanking the necromancer because I'm like, okay, I had visions about how to use my light powers, but I'm still like, how do I use them? I only understood so much.
Just stab him, forehead.
Just stab him.
Keep stabbing him.
Easy.
Easy clap.
Hey,
What a roller coaster.
Slap. bitch, back, slap, slap.
Both.
Slap.
Bitch. There we go.
So, that's my character, I guess.
Fun stuff.
What was the question?
Fun.
Your character
Development.
Oh, well, Nia started out just as a, like, even before Callous Row, I just wanted a cute character that I could play in VR chat, so I commissioned Lyra to make this model, and then she was like, oh, she looks like she would belong in Callous Row, and I was like, what's that? And that's where she came from. So I had her basically just be a really scared, I mean, she's still scared. She's a scaredy cat, but, I think she's gotten a little more brave throughout the whole season. However, her second day, she was held hostage, so that wasn't the best introduction to the row. Or, I mean, it makes sense, it's Callous Row, but can't expect anything.
It happens.
To her credit, Spats displayed incredible RP chops during that scene. Kudos where they belong.
I'm good at crying, so that's a bonus for my character, because I can be in character pretty easily.
That's the truth.
So yeah, but she did get stronger, but I think she has a lot of trauma. So season 2 coming up, gonna be more crying and more running away from things rather than going straight ahead into it.
You cried a lot. That was good.
Yeah, I cried a lot.
That's a lot of weeping.
Character. Yeah, lots of weeping. I mean, that's about it for me.
Booza.
Mr. Mayor.
This is about growth throughout the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting for me because when I created Coach, I really wanted him to represent like a different avenue of, like, you know, like everyone has like this hard knocks life or grassroots attitude of living, you know, everyone's pretty rough on the row. He really is someone who took a different opinion at the end of the big war and still kind of hid in this bubble of comfort by healing to his new overlords, you know what I mean? He's very straight-laced. He's not someone that you'd find thriving in the environment of Callous Row, you know? It's funny because he'll talk very comfortably, confidently, and be all business-like when someone approaches him in the bank, but he's never had any meaningful interactions in the Undercity. He doesn't go down there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
thanks for coming over to me. Do you like what you see?
I don't think I really had, like... I expected a lot of growth because I'm bringing someone who's really not rough around the edges, very... kind of a pussy, if I'm allowed to say that, into the row. And I expected to, you know, get my own opinions and maybe change the lives of those around me, and also maybe get a little more tough myself. Of course, you know, I expect to grow a lot more in the second season. Before I knew it, I ended up becoming, like, I understand, you know, we have multiple DMs in a session, and, you know, Arcadum's running around too, but all of a sudden, because of who I was and where I was in, you know, as the mayor and authority, I kind of became kind of like a secondary stop that people would use to validate their RP, run things by. Not like, I mean, in the realm of in character, you know, like you want to, before you make any major changes, you want to go to the mayor. If you need help with something, you go to the mayor. So before I knew it, like most of this season was in meetings, you know, with people, just in my office or in a more private area, discussing things, solutions, possibilities, problems. And that I love, because as a role player, I love speechcraft. I like just talking. I love debating. I prefer, you know, a courtroom scene over like a battleground. I'm very sheepish as a person when it comes to combat. So Coach is something I was very comfortable with playing, because he's not really like walking around with a big sword, street samurai, 10,000 power level. But,
oh my God! Who the hell cares?
So, I jabbled on a bit, but not a lot of growth per se. But the character's role really, like, out of character, maybe even on like a bit of like the meta-ish level, the character developed a lot to help fit into Callous Row and like help people find their bearings. And you know, I became more of an NPC-ish type thing, more of a coordinator before I knew it, to help other people find each other, you know, and you know, just make things happen.
I get you. Gambit.
I mean, I just want to I just want to add in this before I think you had like a lot of character developments especially both going on their rescue mission or organizing it for saving both Bo and Brunswick.
Yeah, so I want to say something about that specifically. You see, Coach Eric represents a character trope called the hard choice, is what I like to call it. See, because it's easy to play a character that's like, the moral high ground. It's easy to play a character that's like, oh, we're gonna fight against the evil tyrant. But what most people don't consider is that those characters can only do that with power. They have to have the sufficient kind of power in order to make their heroic will manifest. And not everyone has that at all. And so the hard choice here is when you take a good man who can't fight against this oppressor trying to do what they can. And that's what Coach Eric represents. Coach Eric represents what the realistic application of morality under tyranny would be. And Booza plays Coach Eric very well because of his... the thing about Booza is I saw what good of a role player he was when I first met him. And because he's like humble and doesn't really, I know he's probably hating me saying this, but that he was one of the first people that I wanted in Callous Row, because in Forbidden Knowledge, when I did that was more fantasy and fighting, and he wasn't quite as comfortable with that. But Callous Row, which I knew was going to have, corporate dialogue and back and forth, he was one of the first people I considered for that reason. And it was a wise decision, because when we brought in Brunswick, some of the best dialogue conversations in the entire show were between just the two of them talking about current events. So while I think that by the requirement of him being a representative straight man, as it were, to the chaos that all the other row members bring, his development certainly showed his morality and a quiet conviction, not one that was wielded through firearms or swords or warfare, but a quiet, very persistent conviction. And when he went on the Nirvana mission, I specifically designed that mission so that could give the people that were not fighting specialists a chance to shine. And Booza performed admirably in his role as a role player, and specifically Coach Eric got the chance to be the hero that he actually is. See, because when we disagree on the row, we're not disagreeing on what is morally right, because we're both on the same team. We just simply represent two methodologies. One that is dangerous and effective, and another that seems ineffective, but if it works, can be the best option. And it all comes down to a sort of pseudo-faith. And that's something that I really like about his character. So, really sorry, good. I just needed to step in.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
But I think you reminded me, that would be an interesting piece of growth itself, because we did have that dichotomy going where, once again, I said it, we took a different opinion from the same tragic event. And Brunswick plays into this as well. He's, I wouldn't like to say he had the same belief as you. He was a little more, bounty hunter, killing people.
He's more remorseful too.
Yeah, he had his hands on the trigger, so to speak. So that was, because we submit these characters. I think that was an excellent piece of growth where we would clash in ideals a lot, and what happens as a result is that I guess Coach Eric kind of looks like the bad guy. I'm gonna start streaming in season 2, to rectify that and have
Good.
A point of view.
What's up?
Good.
So because it was never okay. In my case, it was never a corp good, people bad. It was how do we, a humble section of a city, survive over galactic pressure, And I'm sure the ramifications of our... I know nothing about what season 2 would be, but I'd expect with your story writing, we're going to see some ramifications of brash behavior with some things behind the scene.
And I also want to say that Coach Eric probably has the best ending line, out of some shows that I've ever seen. He said, what was it? See you at work tomorrow. A necromancer's not a holiday. I was like, that was brilliant, dude. I love that shit. Anyway, that was a great line. Anyway, that's all I want to say.
There we go.
Or Gambit.
Welcome back.
Character development.
Dagu.
With Dagu, I don't really know if I had much character development. Like my whole time, I was just trying to like not like. So the whole thing was like I wanted to have people that were like gang members that I could, borrow money off of to do stuff, and then never pay it back to them, and probably get beat up. But that never really happened because we never had any gangs.
The gambling house.
You were so close to Bo with that. We never got to do that because zombies started, but oh my god.
But
that would have been awesome.
It actually kind of started the whole idea kind of started near like even just in the epilogue. Like it wasn't gangs, it was people because I had an idea to like revitalize the arena because Arjun's been dead. We haven't done anything with it forever. It's like we'll just start investing in the arena. Like,
hopefully we can get some actual gang characters this time around because we
I
were
agree.
supposed to have 8 of them and they just didn't show up.
Yeah, but so what it ended up being was for the longest time, Doggo was supposed to be homeless, but every bleeding heart would come up to me and just say, "Oh, you're so cute, you're so adorable." Like I'm a little monster. I could bite your ankle off. Like, what are you doing? In the back of my mind, but I'm like, you know what? Doggo's a dumbass. He like his thing is like he doesn't really understand a lot of the stuff people do. So it's like, okay, he'll just go along with them like a little puppy dog.
Doggo.
It's beautiful.
Neither.
Yeah, I mean, he almost died twice.
Like a shot in the face.
True.
Shot in the face because he was following people around.
When he dropped the gun in the vent, I lost my shit.
Dude, I couldn't pick it back up with the index controllers.
Oh my god, that freaked me out.
So I pick it up and then it'd fall on the ground, and I pick it up again and it'd fall on the ground. I'm like, no.
I was like, this man is dead.
I found out how to pick it up with the index. Yeah. It's these 2 fingers. That's what does it. If you use these, it'll mess up the grabbing. You have to use the back.
Okay, so you're pinking your ring finger. I gotcha.
Yeah,
Fuck.
If you look at the thumb,
you're right.
It's grabbing, so you can tell when it's.
There we go.
Who designed that? Gaben? Jeez.
No,
watching Dagu have a like in-character freak out from keep dropping his gun was so good. He's like, oh shit! Oh no, this is not up.
Yeah. That was hella good scene.
I did love getting shot in the face. Yeah, I clipped it from Arcade. I got it on.
Oh,
somewhere.
Dude, when you got shot in the face!
That was
Oh my
amazing.
god!
Use fat back.
I was sitting there in the DM model. I watched. I was like,
holy fuck! Why that happened was because I was looking down the hallway. Everybody ran away. And then I looked back, everybody was gone, and I looked down the other hallway, and then there was more people coming the other way. So I was like, I'm just gonna stand on the wall. Hopefully they don't see me. They all come, or giant robot comes and stands in front of me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get crushed. And he walks backwards. I'm like, I'm not dead yet. And the other guy just comes up and goes, bang. And I'm just like, I ain't doing nothing here, okay?
That was so brutal. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I guess I'm dead, so I fell over.
And I came over there, rolled a 9. I was like, all right.
Yeah. And now Doggo has a robot eye, that I'm working on right now.
Hell yeah.
Oh, sweet.
God, that was almost as cool. I think that was like as cool as Staven getting shot. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Like, and he got shot, he fell over. He's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Yeah, like down the street, the big moat. I walked up behind him and just shot him, and he fell off the side. It was so
I
brutal.
remember that.
Then he got rescued.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's about all I had for Doggo.
Go ahead.
I mean, I don't know where to start for mine, because, I mean, I don't know about, like, most other people, this was my first ever RP thing, just period. So I was really nervous going into it, and I still am, but, like, I could do 2 things, which was dance and, walk around realistically. So I would just, okay, I could do this, let me just bounce from that and go forward. And And initially, Rayleigh, and this made me so mad, by the way, she wanted to help the homeless people. But the only homeless people I could find was a drunk sheriff that pissed on my rug, and Becky. So, not the best.
You mean Rafflegator, the mayor? Or not the mayor, the sheriff? Showed up like one time?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so then like, once that was shot, I had like nothing, nothing to go off of, so I just kind of like slid, go from person to person. I dated one people. Oh, let me tell you. But then like all the story events, like the hostage situation was a big moment for me. When I went back with Arcadum to the back room and did that whole like look around, and I saw the entrance to that secret base, and do you remember that? How we played that out?
Yep. Yep.
And so
most me nodding.
So like slowly over time, I just started. Rayleigh started like, I guess, grow up in a sense, start taking things a bit seriously because I had nothing to latch onto. So I thought, hey, let's be an adult, you know. And story events kept happening. I kept having like a different kind of trauma, and it came to the boiling point of the season finale, or near the season finale, where I was being possessed and like all the dark magic stuff, and she's gonna have trouble sleeping for a while, and
necromancers, giant spiders.
Yeah, a couple people will.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can tell from this outfit like how she's gonna be going forward. But like magic made her like that was all she could cling to. So to wrap it up as much as I can, PTSD from all the dark necromancer stuff. Wants to do more, is tired of being weak, and I'm trying so hard not to curse, I'm sorry. And just wants to learn more about magic, so yeah, I ended off season 1 studying in the Magic Sanctum, and by the time season 2 starts, I'll have some spells. That's where I'm at.
Nice.
Really cool.
I'm starting to think about like what I already said mine, but like I guess, you know, my character development, you know, I had some employees, you know, I got a taxi, I stole a sniper rifle. I still don't know who the sniper rifle was, so I stole and gave it to the Hellbats. So I kind of like, I don't know, I feel like, you know, when I started the roleplay, I didn't expect to like have to whisper all the time. So I feel like my RP kind of is like lacking. So like I feel like I suffered in some parts, but like I made up for it because like I gave the sniper rifle to the Hellbats. I've, you know, sold a vehicle. I don't know. I tried to employ people. I tried to do the best what I could with what I could, you know, like given the situation. So like I would, you know, try and talk.
Hiding in the Undercity. Those are good bits. When we were
Yeah.
down there hiding, it was fun.
Yeah, when you were. Oh yeah, you mean when the demon choked us all out or whatever?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. Good times, yeah. The one time, you know, I got choked out, you know. I guess I guess for me, like some of the interactions was like you know, I talked to like the medics, or not the medics, like the doctors a lot. So I always like hung around like the clinic, and Dr. Universe knows I'm allergic to magic. She's like, "Oh, you're kind of fucked." I'm like, "Yeah, you know." But somehow I survived, you know. It is what it is. I gave money to the brothel, you know. Good times. Like, it's funny because, like, for me, if you watch my perspective, I'm just chilling. I'm like, all right, let's go to the brothel. Let's just have a nice time. And you go to like anyone else's perspective, you go to like Brunswick or anybody else, people are dying. They're like, oh my god. It's just like, yeah, I'm just chilling.
Just want to say, the time you were doing squats in the brothel and everyone joined in, that was absolutely hilarious. I loved it.
Oh yeah. I made
chill time.
Yeah, it's okay.
I joined in squats.
Yeah, I got really bored sometimes, so I would just start squatting, and I literally did 100 squats. Just sit like in front of everybody. They're just like, holy crap.
I went to the brothel to like chill and get hugs from people.
Yeah.
That's what you do as a brother.
True. Yeah, I made everyone start doing squats. I'm like, listen, I got to do my, got to work out.
Yeah, you gotta get those thunder thighs.
Yeah, true. Character development. I mean, also like.
Did you still whisper when doing the squats?
Yeah, I was like 1, 2, 3. Oh man, I wish VR chat actually had a whisper option. You know what I mean? Like only people within like 2 feet can hear you, sort of like in GTA RP, where you can like actually whisper.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like that should be a thing in VR
That would
chat.
be cool.
Because then I can actually whisper.
That would be awesome.
you can only hear me 2 feet away. I'm like, hey, get over here.
I wish they would let you incorporate the buttons on this controller, dude. Because then you could be like double tap Y to make it whisper, tap Y to make it back, like shit like that. Because they're not used for anything. Not really.
Yeah.
That can be done with bindings.
Yeah, but
settings.
Well, yeah, but I want it like built
They
in.
are going to be used in whenever they come out with Avatar 3.0. So there's that.
Well, here's hoping.
Hell yeah.
That's where the menu button is for whatever that spiral menu thing they got going on.
Yeah, I get you. Anyway, I guess next topic. We've been going almost for an hour, by the way. This is how long the answers are.
What?
Yeah, we're 45 minutes in.
I basically think that,
That's cool.
It's basically the last question.
No. We're gonna go for probably like an hour and a half or something like that. We'll take questions from the chat and stuff, so we might have to rapid fire. But anyway, my next topic would be, I guess, talk about like season 2. Might as well, right? So, what would be everybody's like goal or ambition, or what plans for season 2? I guess for me would be, I think what Kier said, like having like my own like more expanded like scrapyard, and I guess I wanted to like work with the synthetics more. I feel like I kind of, as a mechanic, I should have during season 1. I should have talked to them a lot more. I kind of did a little bit of like Guidebot. I built them that whole like thing around the hotel, but I kind of want to do more stuff with the synthetics because they're not magic, right? So it makes sense. I feel like I should do more stuff with them. Actually. If it works out in the end where like in the part of the wasteland you actually have vehicles, then like everyone would have to come to me, hope maybe to like get a car or rent one or whatever. So I kind of want to have that going for me. Yeah, we'll have to see though.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Arcadum, anyone else want to talk about season 2?
Oh, believe me, I got a lot to say. All right.
I'm excited.
All right, let me God, I don't want to just take up the whole time with the question because I could go on and on about season.
Oh, if anyone else wants to start first, then
let them all go first, and then I'll because I'm gonna have a long answer.
Let's go backwards. Neither way to the long term.
Yeah.
You start.
I'm just kicking my feet in this floor pool.
What?
So what are you doing season 2?
What's your plans for season 2?
Well, all season 1, like I was, drifting and like not knowing what to do. So I was kind of like stuck in the civilian / damsel / what? No, oh hey, you're there, kind of spot. I would like to like be more engaged and not exactly front lines, but I can't think of a better term for it. To like of all the story events happening. Because towards the end of season 1, I was doing sad stuff. I protected you in my bubble shield, like on our walk through the caves. Yeah. And I thought that was really cool. Like I'm doing my job, protecting the mayor. It felt great.
I was protected.
Sex. All right, look, and like in terms of, well, I'm getting like padding for my play space. So I'll be able to do like, I can fall, do cartwheels and flips. So, and I've learned play space tech. I'll be able to do a bunch of cool stuff. I want the opportunity to. So I'm hoping that's where I'll be at. Is to, be not the center, but close to it. If that makes sense. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Close to action.
Gambit?
My ambitions for season 2, I just want to have a junkyard with things to fight. I want monsters. I want to be like the monster of the week thing, because like as I said, I was talking about the arena, and like how it's not really a thing. Like if we just had, because of the wasteland, everything is going to be a thing. So like, I talked to Charles and a whole bunch of other people planning this like thing, as I was RPing it, of like go to the wastelands, get a monster, bring it in, just like giving people a thing. Because I know Arcade is like overall the main quest giver, but I like giving other people things to do when I'm RPing. So it's always nice to have like, you know, extra stuff.
I have a plan for that, but I'm gonna wait till I speak.
All right. So yeah, I just wanted to like, you know, if you've ever seen Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Yes.
There's the pit. You send the people to the pit, they fight, and then you know one man. But instead of 2 people, it's a big ass monster and some dumbass that wants to fight for money. That was my, you know, little idea.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Musa?
What was it? My expectations for season 2, or
what's your plans? What's your plan for your character?
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to like a lot more, like I guess, the speechcraft, because I think at the start of, you know, season 1, you know, I think some of us were used to like our creative said, to develop like the overarching story, the environment. You know, I am kind of a talker, so I'm really looking forward to a lot more of the verbal portions of it. More so than that, I'm planning to interact with a lot more different kinds of people, because of course, you know, I think since people have like lost focus or like lost attention of them a little bit, but looking at, you know, we are, from my understanding, we're getting a lot more people in. You know, I think we were a little light on corporate members at the start of Callous Row, and that's weird too, because it's not like corp versus not corp. The corporations have their own agendas. There's infighting. They have their own little workings with each other. It wasn't a good time to be like, I don't know, like a not corp person. So I'm looking forward to like maybe a bigger balance there. So we have a lot, like, you know, you guys mentioned gangs. I'm excited. Like, I'd like to see people of different allegiances other than just corporate, not corporate, you know, and like seeing how like the location or the geography forms around that, based on like, you know, people have stakes in certain areas, control points, all these other types of things, you know. Say if there are gangs, you know, you might not feel safe walking there if you're or better reputation with another one, you know. Stuff like that. Just more diversity in Callous Row and what becomes of that.
I have a plan for that, but I'll wait till my turn.
I have a plan for everything. Spats?
Not die.
Oh, same.
So, probably.
I have a plan for that.
Too bad.
I like that plan.
Yeah,
It's a shame.
I do want to get. I mean, I have Nia. She's gonna be living in the Undercity, but working in the Row because she's still gonna be employed at the brothel. However, I don't know how that's gonna go. So I'm excited to maybe interact more with corp characters, because we should be getting more corp characters. But I'm not really I don't want to put too many expectations. I kind of just want it to I'm just gonna let whatever happens happen, kind of thing. I just want to role playing Callous Row. That's about it. Not really expecting much to do anything, so I'm just excited.
Go with the flow.
Yeah, go with the flow. Try not to die. Yeah.
Did you just meow? That sounded like you meowed. Oh, okay. Meow.
I went.
Meow.
Yeah.
Hey, your turn. Get your turn.
Go ahead.
I don't know about plans, but intentions and maybe like a to-do list or something every session. Like, Bo's gonna still be working in the noodle shop, but Bo's now got other, like, things like wanting to help Lilani. She's kind of got healing magic or something, but not like Lilani, so I don't know.
Also knife game?
Knife gang.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I need a knife.
More
That's
like
the one thing I need is a knife. That's all
kind
I
of.
wanted.
Yes, knife gang. But
Knife gang.
kind of getting into the drug stuff more, like kind of, I don't know, sort of stuck our
Gangster
toes
stuff.
into that, but
Yeah.
didn't sell that many drugs or anything like that, so we'll probably be doing that
Also
after
murder.
my
You said-
shift.
You said a lot of murder.
Oh, yes. Probably become a murderer. Just becoming extremely territorial over
Oh.
certain things. Don't worry about it.
Serial killer.
Exactly.
Maybe not serial killer, but, you know, it's like somebody's walking
She
off
just-
somewhere. I let them off light because, you know, the kind, you know, customer service sort of thing. But then I'm like, okay, conk, get the ropes.
Oh shit.
Hey, is Bo still narcoleptic?
Yeah. Like, didn't get to really do the narcoleptic stuff near the end, but it was like so bad near the end that I was literally standing up asleep and someone had to wake me up.
I was holding your hand. I was like, squeeze my hand if you're falling asleep. Cute.
And let's go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh no, my God.
False over.
I'll be like trying to guard somewhere as Bo on my time off the noodle shop, and you'll find me asleep somewhere. That was so much fun when people would just randomly find me asleep in the noodle shop because you told me to man the shop, and it's like walks in, sees Bo collapse on the floor in the corner. Huh.
Yeah, it was good.
Someone woke
The
me
way it
up,
should
asked
be.
for something because someone's life depended on it. It's like, alright, give me $5. As soon as I woke up, it was great.
There you go.
Kier?
I guess. I mean, for me at least. I mean, for me, Plans of Season 2 is, in my mind, it's not like I'm not thinking what Kong should do. I'm thinking, okay, what should every character in every place do in Callous Row, so I can build as much support for that as possible. So like my mind is going for 70 characters instead of one, but I'm sure it's the same for like Hayden, but at least for Conky specifically, like I want to keep doing the noodle shop, but maybe focus a little bit more on the medic people, the medic area, and I'm gonna be doing like, you know, as Chris said, more like maybe more basically trying to create like some kind of gang structure at least. So we're going for more gang focus at least with Conk and Bo and stuff, and we're gonna try to do some protection stuff and do some selling of drugs and stuff. That is the, I think the character focus is gonna be towards that. But other than that, it's just, as per I'm sure Kadam's gonna go on, but it's gonna be a lot of like trying to like, the main thing for me for Season 2 before Kadam digs in too much is like other than the story stuff, I'm trying to build the maps to promote as good flow as possible, because currently in Season 1 there was many points where some areas were dead areas, you didn't need to go there, and there wasn't any reason for people to go there, so there was like some areas weren't really used. So I'm trying to make sure that many areas either have a reason to be used or is a nice place to be, so that like that is what I'm thinking for Season 2, to make all the areas interesting and be well traveled. But now Arcadum can.
Before Arcadum begins, I just want to say one last thing. Because I just had this idea while everyone was talking about like ambitions. I thought about like, it's up to, you know, Kier and everybody to make the world, but if you were to add vehicles, maybe I would like to have like a race system, like, or I can race people, like, you know, have like a you know, illegal. I have a plan. I mean, I would like to do that. That'd be kind of cool. Like I could have like.
So Rebel. When the Wasteland comes out, your character will definitely be involved with that kind of stuff.
Illegal
What
racing.
you're saying is you want a checkpoint system right now.
Okay, starts coding right now. Okay.
Yeah. I wanna do some illegal races. Maybe I'll do some drug trafficking. You know, put the drugs in the car, and then you drive out to the wasteland, and that doesn't really happen. And you dig some holes 6 feet down, put some bodies in them. When the deal goes bad, you know, kind of casual stuff. You know.
There we go.
Yeah, I like to do some street races in the wasteland. Anyway, Arcadum.
Exploding.
Okay. All right. Gather round, my little chuckle fucks. I've got something to tell you people. So, recently I've been able to put aside some actual time to come up with a lot of the different things that I want to do for season 2. So, other than the fact that there's a lot that Kier and Sketchu and everybody else has been working on, I want to go over what the plan for season 2 is in a nutshell. These are the things that we are going to attempt to do. No guarantees that we'll be able to do them all, but it's certainly something that I want to do. So, let me start naming it off. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to have a multi-map system so that we can have different avenues of actual play available, because we want to have the main road to be expanded so that we can have things like gangs and stuff like that. We want the wasteland map so we can have the outside of the city covered, so that we could have things like a different faction. We can have adventuring. We can have vehicles and a place to drive them and a place to race them.
Hell
we can
yeah.
have different factions there with Scrap Town and stuff like that. We want to have a corporate area where all the corporate characters that we're going to bring in can actually do the conniving speechcraft, the back and forth, and you can really see the perspective of what they deal with. And then we have the Undercity just being expanded, so we have different aspects of magic to be represented. To be completely honest, I have big ambitions for season 2, because we want to have multiple maps. We want to have a lobby host system so that we can have people actually travel from map to map and have real travel time. I also, when I write the story this time around, each map's going to have its own set of storylines that are for that map, and then a couple of overarching ones, so that people that live in their home map are dealing with something that's close to home. Like, people in the Undercity will be dealing with a new magical problem. People in the Row will be dealing with gangs and stuff like that. People in Scrap Town will be dealing with, wild beasts running around and stuff like that. People in the corporate areas are going to be dealing with constant, shadow games between the different corporate entities and things like that. We're also going to introduce a couple of religions so that we can have religious role play and stuff like that, and like people actually following like strange cults and psionic gods and stuff like that. We're going to be having there's a whole audio team that's working with me that's going to make a custom soundtrack for Callous Row. I'm going to try and fund that so that we can have our own music, including things like our own theme song, our own music, things for the brothel and the nightclub to actually play that sounds like music that belongs in the world that we have, that we can actually play, that we made ourselves. We got a bunch of people that have volunteered to help with programming and Udon, so we can do things like Phase Dragon specifically. I want to shout out because he developed a vehicle system that we can use, like that lets you use a steering wheel and a foot pedal system, and
crazy stuff.
It was insanity, like stuff that we could never do in the first season. We will not be able to do in the second season. But as great as all that is, there was something else that's being worked on that, man, it may push the absolute limit of what we're capable of doing. That is, we had somebody volunteer out of nowhere. This guy named Simon, I think his name is.
Yeah, Simon.
He is developing a website that, as far as I know, and I'm sure people can correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, this is what it does. It has the ability to track every... first of all, it has a website with all the different maps attached to it that anybody watching any stream, if that stream has it linked to their stream, can go to it, right? They can click on the website link, they can go to the website, and the map will show each of the different maps, and you can click on a map, and it will show the position of every single character that is playing in Callous Row that has their Twitch attached to our stream group. And you will be able to see where
show everyone, but
everyone, but it's relevant to the streamers. But anyway, you can see where every single character is on the map, and it's in real time with a delay of like 5 to 10 seconds. And when you click on them on that map, it will bring up their VR chat wiki, which has all their information right there. And if they are streaming, it will bring up their stream, and it will be time stamped and properly, like, chronologically accurate to where they are compared to where everyone else is. So all of the Twitch stuff is also going to be in tune. So it's a complete, like, man, the shit that if we are able to actually accomplish this will be one of the most amazing things I think people will ever see at VR chat. Like we're
I'll
pushing
also
the
add
absolute
mobile
limit.
as well. Also
Oh yeah, and
mobile
it
app.
works on mobile. Yeah, it works
Oh,
on mobile.
shit.
It has its own. Yeah, it has its own mobile version.
Mm.
And here's the other thing about it, right? They added this thing where if somebody's watching what somebody's doing, they can hit a +1 system, and it'll pop up over that person's icon. So if something's happening on the map somewhere, people can actually see it, and they can go to these hotspots of roleplay or action. They can click on that, and they'll watch those people's streams. And from what I understand, those streams will be embedded, so everybody that's streaming in Callous Row will have natural growth from this app. So it's something that if we are able to make it happen, it's going to change how people look at it. It's going to change everything.
It's the quality of the whole RP like goes up by like an order of magnitude, and like even the watchability. Like I mean, currently like someone watches Arcade, like View for example, they'll see a part of it.
Yeah.
But they don't see all the intricacies, all the details and stuff. And it's quite hard to. So let's say they see Arcadium, and then they see him like push a storyline, and then when I follow that storyline, they have to find the person who's streaming in that group, and they have to, like it's a bit of a hassle. But doing it this way, you can just click the map, like I want to see the people going through the caves in the Undercity, whatever. I want to see how they're doing, and they can just click them, their button. You know, and you heard Boosta was trying to, or Kush was trying to do some scheming or whatever. You can just hop back there for a second and see how it's going, and you can quite quickly.
That's exactly the point.
Through the RP.
Yeah, because originally we
someone's
created
got a bunch of +1s on them because they're stabbing someone to death or whatever. It's like
+1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's the idea. And I mean, it's like we made it in this way. Like I originally designed Callous Row so that people would. No, there's no main character. Everyone is their own main character in their story, and they stream their perspective, and then people go back through the VODs, and they want to watch from different angles, and that's how I could promote growth through everybody that's streaming it. Like, I can't guarantee that people will grow. That's not something I can do. But I can at least open the avenue as much as possible to make such a thing happen. But with this new app, not only, man, it will be so convenient for people that the overall watchability of it is going to go crazy. And because of my own recent success in Twitch, I've been doing some things on the side so that I could help everyone. And one of the things that I want to do is whenever we launch season 2, I think I might actually be able to get us on the front page for the launch. So that's something that is going to be a pretty big deal to give us a big boost in
Hell yeah.
in interest. So yeah, and I see it in my mind of us, like, I launch Callous Row Season 2 on the front page with the link to that website, and then every single person going through the front page will be able to go through that, and then I'll connect it to everybody. And that's the idea about it. But it's it's going to take a lot of development time, and I think that's something that people just need to prepare themselves for, because when I do something, I try to do it right, not fast. So I'd rather it be done right than done quickly, and that's really just kind of the way that it is. But I am personally super looking forward to it, because I think that Callous Row Season 2 is going to be... It's going to redefine the virtual reality as a genre. What I really want to do, and this is something I also talked to my Twitch account manager about, I want to make Callous Row its own game, like category-wise, because we're not playing VR chat anymore at that point. Like we just really aren't.
Yeah.
We're using it as the development platform. We're using it as a development platform, and I will always give kudos to the entire team in VR chat for doing the great jobs that they're doing. But it's like we are creating it. It's a little overwhelming because I didn't plan for that. What all I did was I sat down in a room with Sketchu, and I just said, all right, I want to do my own VR chat roleplay. And then we got to this point. It's been an amazing journey where a lot of people have come together, and they've all assisted me in making something big. And I am 100 times grateful to every single person on this couch, in that chair, and everybody who's stood behind me and and beside me to make sure that we can make it happen. And I'm a naturally ambitious man, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really one to stop at good enough or mediocre. And that's kind of their job, is to wrangle the dragon, because I'll try to do anything. Yeah,
we try our best.
But yeah, that's kind of the way that it is. So season 2 is going to be something magnificent.
Mm-hmm.
So watch for it, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that, like, when I listen to what you're saying now and in the meetings we have, like, this is very big. Like, we could potentially change the way Twitch looks at VR chat, right? Like, a lot of people who probably will look at VR chat like,
so.
oh, that's not Weirdo Game or whatever. But like, if it happens, it works out where we're on the front page of Twitch, and literally be thousands of people watching. I can guarantee that, because I know some people that have gone on the front page, like Nags, he would get like a few thousand people. Anyway, for a role play, I think that'd be really huge, because it'd be the first time a lot of people are like, what is this? What's going on? They're like, oh my god, they're in VR and they can move their hands and they're role playing. Like, what the heck? Like, most people who probably think of role play probably think of the classic D&D, or they probably just watch like GTA RP or like Arma RP. Like, that's it. Like, that's their experience.
Is a new thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to be a new thing. They're like, what the heck? They're role playing in VR. Like, what?
It's an amazing way to tell like a bunch of different stories at once.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Neither you're saying something. You raise your hand.
Great storytelling medium.
Yeah, I was. I've been on the front page more than a few times for charity stuff, and like, the main issue with it is like nobody ever like sticks around after. But Arcade and this whole app idea, and like also not many people actually know about VR chat on Twitch. Like, it's still a very small category. So
you sure like spreading your load everywhere.
It's on
Thanks,
there, people are gonna get
darling.
hooked in, and they're most likely gonna stay. Honestly.
Mm-hmm. Arcade,
Especially if it's on mobile.
thanks for spreading your load all over me, man. Just want to let you know. The $5, dude. Thanks.
You ever just silently stare someone down while you give them money? It feels great, dude.
All right, hey, thanks for the money, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Goes a long way.
Please continue, Neither. You were
Yeah.
talking about charity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was saying I got on the front page more than a couple times, and your app idea is gonna like it's that hook that people can.
Thanks for joining the exclusive club.
Also, it's not my
Just
idea.
for you.
That's the crazy thing. I didn't come up with that. You know what came up with that? Literally the guy who made it. Yeah, Simon. Literally, he told me. He sent me this big long message before I knew what the hell he was talking about. He was just like, I find it really hard to kind of, watch everybody's perspectives and find the story very easily. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do this. And then he showed me. I'm like,
code a system.
What the fuck, bro?
I'll just code it.
We have Udon, because that would have not been possible before.
So. Yeah, the great thing about it is, like, you've already been working on it and stuff, and I've seen it work, and it's actually, like, I was looking at the website, I saw you walk to a corner of the map, the little icon, it worked. It's insane.
It's absolutely magnificent.
I'm so hyped.
No,
Yeah,
that's
you bring up a good point, because if you watch like GTA RP, there's like 100 people in that server, and like you can't fucking understand like what the hell's going on.
You sure like spreading your load everywhere.
Hey, Booza, thanks for the 3.
Thanks, darling.
Anyway, like I said, so like like you're right. When you watch like other role plays, big servers, you can only really like get like 1 or 2 people's perspective. You watch like your favorite streamer, and that's it. Imagine if you had that for GTA 5, where it's just like you watch like the whole map, and you click and you see what everyone's doing, what the cops are doing, what the paramedics are doing. For us, obviously, it would be Callous Row. So we have the clinic people, the mechanics, the wasteland people, the corporates. For me, the reason why I love Callous Row is because I make a lot of comparisons to like Shadowrun, and like when I was like watching people play Final Fantasy VII Remastered, it kind of felt like Callous Row in a way. Like you have all the corporate
That's
people.
So nice of you. I'm
where like everyone's
too.
just like, they're all in the corporate trying to do dirty things, and then there's like the bums and the little cloud trying to save the world. I kind of feel like that's Callous Row in a way, where the perspective of like there's the rich and wealthy and the poor.
Yeah. I mean that's a story that's been told 100,000 times, so it's perfectly fine. I mean Shadowrun is what the role play is based off of.
Yeah.
Because cyberpunk was always sci-fi is not my forte. I'm a fantasy man, but I like sci-fi just like anybody else would, and that's what I based it off of. But Final Fantasy VII's remake coming out that was really able to showcase something very similar to what we're doing, which is the kind of dystopian age of industry with magic and what that would be like.
So
that's
nice
kind of the
of
same
you.
thing that we're trying to do
I'm a giver
in Callous Row,
too.
except
City
we're going more
_VR
cyberpunk
gifted
with
a
it, so
tier
we're
1
more,
sub
the
to
technology
VR.
is more advanced
They have
than
given
like
12 gift subs in the channel.
atomic era type of setup. That's kind of the whole point to that. They actually made they made the technology in Final Fantasy VII Remake a little bit more advanced than it actually was in the game, probably due to just necessity. But I think it's a very nice contrast because, like, for example, Kieran and Sketchy are working on the Undercity map, and it's very much it's very much magically fantasy based, but then you start to see the subtle signs that, like there's pipes over there and there's things like that, and then as you kind of walk through it, it slowly becomes more apparent that this isn't a fantasy world, but more like it's more sci-fi, and you get to see little bits and pieces of it. And then you go from there into the row where things are like street level nonsense, and then you go up to the corporate area where everything's like almost like a space opera kind of level of tech, where everything's very clean and symmetrical. And then you have the wasteland, which is like the full-on dystopian setup, which is basically going to be like Redline, if anybody's seen that movie. So it's kind of the idea behind it, and God, I hope I don't let anybody down. It's a lot of pressure.
It's gonna be good. Don't worry about it.
Or I guess the wasteland would be like Borderlands. I guess like the outside road is just a bunch of like crazy psychos and bums and Mad Max vibes.
Exactly.
And the goblin that won't stay out of my junkyard.
Oh, goblin. Nice.
Goblin.
Hi, Ruben.
These goblins.
All right, I think we're gonna start taking questions from the chat. So we have like 15 minutes left. Well, so we're taking questions from the chat. So if anybody has any questions for anybody here, or like what do you call topics, we'll discuss them. We'll go as fast as we can, as many as we can. How many players are there in Callous Row? How many? Yeah, something like that. 50.
60.
Should I get in my season 2 outfit? Oh God.
Don't worry.
Let's see. I could actually answer that. So we maxed out the server at 67 characters.
Yeah.
Not actual characters, just like people in the game. And because of that, we were able, 67's the absolute max we can have before things just start fucking tearing at the seams, and it just can't do it, Cotton. It don't have the power. I would very much like to talk to Ron and them and see if I can't buy server space, because I would do that shit in a heartbeat if I could. But anyway, it's we're gonna shoot for an average of 30 on each map, so it's 120 population or 35, which is like 140
Holy
or
shit.
so total people. That's across all 4 maps. If everything goes off ideally. And then with a maximum of 60 people on a map at a time as they travel from map to map.
And it's definitely flexible. So the wasteland can definitely be less populated. We don't need 35 there because that can be more expedition adventure focused.
That's true.
And there can be more people playing like creatures and stuff for specific things there. And same for the corporate area. It doesn't need to be like 35 max. It can be like 25 will still work. But as long as the city and the row, like the main maps, I would say, like have enough people to feel filled, that the map can then play quest giver and adventure area basically to those maps.
Yeah. It's I think it's something that that we're gonna play by ear a little bit. But there will definitely be way more players, like character-wise, this time around, and we're going to have more space for extras, because we will just have the map space, and more detail too, because we're splitting everything up. Anyway, I'm sorry. You were going to take questions from chat. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that was a question from the chat. How many people were in the...
Oh, shit. Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah. How much does Arcadum know about the Lovecraft mythos?
Not as much as I should, more than I'd like to.
Okay. What did Booza say? Everyone's like, Booza, what the fuck? What'd you do?
Yeah, it's his model.
It's his model.
Oh, I didn't even see it because I can't see through Kong. Oh, I see it here.
He's in his e-boy model.
Oh my god.
That's big trolls
The
the
mayor
Void
went
Club.
through a phase.
I mean,
changed.
technically I have multiple outfits. I have my biker outfit, which I haven't used in a long time, my mechanic outfit, and then I have this interviewer outfit, but I can use it for, like, I don't know, like a fancy corporate disguise or something. I don't know. Just like, hey, I'll have nice clothes now. I'm rich. So, I think I'm settled for Season 2 for outfits. Anyway, how do you manage such a large player base with all these interweaving stories?
Well, you have to understand. I assume that's for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm already doing it. Callous Row is a much smaller scale compared to what I'm actually doing for D&D wise. I have 7 going on 8 groups now, and each of those have 5 to 6 people in it. And then you couple that with the 200 plus players in the Discord that I run an MMO in for D&D. Callous Row is actually pretty small potatoes compared to that management wise. So.
Oh.
That's my best answer, I think.
So basically, you're a madman.
Yeah,
I
true,
suppose.
true. I got my own question for Arcadum. Are any of the big streamers interested in the Callous Row, or they're like, oh, I don't know about that, man?
Some have given me interest. Yep.
Okay.
No guarantees, obviously, but if we keep popping off like we are, I wouldn't be surprised if I could get quite a few of them.
Yeah, I think
maybe not as permanent characters, but definitely as maybe temp guests or something.
Yeah, because I always feel like big streamers can really influence Twitch, and I feel like it only takes like one or a few to like really push something. Like let's be real, VRChat blew up because of a bunch of big streamers. It's like the same deal, right? So like I feel like for Callous Row, a couple of them, even though they played as extras or something, or just was in the world and just were like around, like they went to the corporate people, when like they could play as an invisible character and just sort of walk around and just show the area and just be like a cameraman and just be like, oh, what's going on over here? And they just listen in on this conversation. Like I think that would be cool.
Hey, neither.
Yeah, you're cut off neither, by the way. There you go.
Why don't you come over here and sit with me, buddy? That way you don't get all nice and cut off.
Yeah, I messed up these camera angles 8 months ago.
There you go.
But
There you go, buddy.
my new world will have proper camera angles that actually work properly.
Right on the All-Father's lap. Look at that. Feels good, bud.
Anyway.
Between the big lads.
Are Coach and Becky an actual couple?
Huh?
Coach and Becky married.
Yeah, what do you mean? It's a question. You gonna answer?
That's a yeah, I'll answer. It's not like some weird thing where it's a ship or not. Because it's funny because Murder Someone I never speak to out of out of CR. I only see them on the row. So, but we really have a strong emotional bond and like understanding, like really strong. We're like, there's unconditional trust there. I don't know if it's because I saved Becky from a dumpster hoe life or something, but we like Becky has been super in her own Becky-esque fashion. She's been super reliable. Whoa.
No, this looks.
Speaking of Becky,
what the
I say
fuck?
nothing about Becky. Everyone, how was it up?
Oh yeah.
But
shit.
But to finish that thought, like she has been one of the most reliable things for Coach in her own Becky-esque fashion. So, is it like a couple thing? Who knows yet? Keyword yet? Who knows? But they're definitely close.
They're fucking.
Yeah. They're fucking.
Yo, I thought
Rock, paper, scissors.
Come on now.
Rock, paper, scissors. What are you doing?
Becky's super promiscuous too, so maybe Coach wants something deeper. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, you want to go deep. I get it.
Wow.
I see someone else.
Question for Kier. With the death of all the Necromancer, will Conk reveal himself as the final BBEG of Callous Row?
Big bad evil
Big
guy.
bad evil guy.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So Conk is actually the Necromancer. It's just a disguise.
Oh,
So
okay.
like you never saw them together at the same time. So
True.
It's actually a living phylactery of the necromancer. So you'll see storylines. You know, it'll happen. Don't worry about it. The necromancer is gonna pop out his head out of Kong's chest like a mech suit.
Yeah. How do you apply for extra roles for Callous Row? So this might be a good question because obviously people are interested to join. You know, so how would you join Callous Row?
Oh, did I crash?
No.
No, you're
no.
Okay.
I think.
I guess I can take it.
No, I desynced. I desynced. I'm back.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I can take that anyway. Like, so if you wanna, you're on an extra currently. If you have someone currently in the Discord that is at least I think currently a confirmed character, they can or higher up, they can vouch. They can vouch for you. We can give you an extra role, and that's also the requirement to make a character. So you need someone to vouch for you, both to become an extra and to make a character. So if you have a friend who's in, there you go. That's your way in.
And we have to do it that way because we didn't do that way earlier, and we let a bunch of people in, and something terrible happened, and I won't see it happen again. So the only way you can get in is if somebody vouches for you, because that means they put their neck on the line for you, and that will lower the chances of, scumbags getting in.
I agree.
Because I don't deal with drama.
Yeah, same. It's one of my rules. Yeah. Same thing when I get my new talk show role, like I said earlier with Archaeos in the chat. Like, when I have an audience, I'll have like up to 40 people watching the talk show, and I'll have like a vouching system because like I can't literally have like random people just show up. They're like, oh hey, I'm part of this. I'm gonna crash the lobby now. I'm like, oh. So anyway, next question. Yeah, neither what happened. Your legs like went backwards. It was pretty weird. It was interesting.
Wireless died.
Oh yeah.
No, I was on the knee, man. I was on the knee.
I getcha. Knife Gang. Kunk is actually an elder god who will rise and burn all the corporate people off his planet.
I mean, like even during the making of Callous Row, like the first concept art sketch you made, she drew the row. She drew a giant like Titanic conch in the moat or whatever. So it's always been our own headcanon with like.
Nice.
At the center of the planet is a giant conch, like fucking like the was it the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, whatever, the planet is in person.
Yeah.
He's ego. Like the celestial guy.
Yeah, ego. Yeah. Yes, the ego. Yeah, so conch is actually ego. That's
shit.
Kaden shakes his head, but that's what we meme at least. That's what we meme at least.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah! Just slaps the whole city away.
Yeah, exactly.
Does anyone have a storyline or relationship they wanted to explore but couldn't during season 1?
I had a couple of them that started up that I wasn't really able to explore because there's just no time for me to do so. Like I had this kind of back and forth with Dr. Universe. I had a really cool like synthetic based like rousing to get them rights and stuff with all the synthetics that I really wasn't able to expand. There's the thing with Kira as like a subplot. Like there's a lot going on there.
Anyone else?
I had a thing with Static's character. Like it was at the very start, and like we had a bunch of interactions, and we just kind of stopped out of nowhere. But like it would have been cool, like romance-wise. Like a robot has feelings. Whoa!
What the fuck? You jumping all over the place? I thought Rayleigh and Nia had a thing.
Oh shit.
Like later.
Oh my god.
After I was ignored.
Damn.
Feelings.
This is why I shoot people.
Yeah. I mean, I had a thing near the end where I wanted to murder Becky because apparently Becky hates me because I hired a synthetic as a taxi, a robot.
Oh, everyone wants to murder Becky.
Yeah, so I was trying to get together with all the synthetics, and it never happened. And we're supposed to like all come together and collectively, I guess, like plot to kill Becky.
Yeah.
It never happened. Maybe season 2 though.
I mean, like everyone I kill Becky, but things Becky always is like just so evenly rude. So you, like at least you never really take offense because it's the evenness of the rude is always the same. So you like you can kind of get adapt like that they just have like what is Tourette's or whatever. Like they're always basically just have to say bad things.
She's mean to everyone. She'll be fine. What kind of thing is that?
Yeah. I mean, you know, like if someone is crazy calling everyone a c word, you know, like you kind of like take their words less to heart, you know what I'm saying? That is, I mean, so I mean, of course, people want
Hyperion Omega lol.
Yeah.
But that is at least how my mind works. But yeah, like she's definitely up there too on the like one I kill list, but it's good. Like no, but like talking about like characters that wants to interact with more, like I wanted to like technically like kind of do more like business stuff, like do more actual like drug dealing and trying to set up that network and with people, and also like I wanted to. I was thinking of doing maybe like because people were like angry at the coach being the mayor, so I was like, okay, let's do a political campaign and try to get him out of there and
get Conk as the mayor. Conk for mayor. Drugs for everybody.
Like, you know, yeah, you know, but yeah, like, you know, but like I like the idea of having some kind of like split between like the regular people of the row and the more like you know do some kind of order versus law arc.
Yeah,
like, yeah, I feel like that would be cool. Like
I tried to get into the drug business, and then Wi-Fi's character died. The convenience owner. We were literally RPing. We're like, he was like, oh, let's take over the courier business. Let's you know take her out. We'll start spreading drugs. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, I need money. And then he fucking dies or whatever and gets fucking fungus in his brain. And I'm like, well, that ended. And then I had to deal with the arena guy, and then his character died, and I'm just like, dude, everyone I talk to dies. Like, no joke, literally.
That's exactly how it is.
Drug business is cursed, guys.
It's cursed.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then I tried to talk to Jack, and then Jack died. I was like, holy shit! Everyone I talk to dies. I'm cursed.
Yeah, maybe like write letters.
Everyone I talk to
that
dies.
Is exactly why the drug business
work for him. That's
like,
how you don't die.
Kind of failed.
Good thing I can't
Oh.
hear over the whispering. I'm safe.
I was selling drugs to Wi-Fi, then he died. I was selling drugs
Yeah.
to Steven, then he died. I was selling drugs to Argent, then he died. So basically, all my customers just died. But you know,
What
only one
the
of them was
fuck?
from the actual drugs. So you know, that's
Was I the only one that like actually was on drugs during a session? Like my I stumbled around. Anybody else do that?
No,
No, he had
I
PTSD.
drank the mushroom juice.
Yeah,
that was good.
he had PTSD.
It's like I drink a lot and like go, where is it?
Yeah.
Oh, candy.
We had you puke quite a bit laying on the couch.
I
It was
had
good.
to freaking drag your drunk ass. I had to drag Rick's drunk ass.
The whisper of death. Yeah, if you talk to me, it's the whisper of death. You die like a week later. Everyone Cap's loves dies, so maybe team up with Cap. Yeah, Cap and I will be best buds.
Yeah.
Everyone we love dies,
Yeah,
so
that's
talks
good.
to. Good times.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't that mean you both will die with each other?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Clap.
Yeah,
Nice.
Carlos
Clap.
good, I think that is a good question.
Which question?
The by Dead Carl.
Everyone after the talk show gets partnered. Everyone that talks to Rebel and RP dies. Yeah, they're not wrong. It's actually true. I've done so many interviews that literally when I interview people, literally like within a week or two, they get partner on Twitch. It's actually kind of funny. I'm secretly the middleman at Twitch. I secretly just give people Maybe one day. Yeah, one day I'll get it too. Dab.
I like the question about the freedom. Like, so, okay, I'm like how much freedom do players have on developing their stories? Like, how do you like?
All right, so this is how it works. I wrote a bunch of overarching storylines that were made malleable on purpose so that people's individual storylines could become relevant. And then whenever you make a character, I take the relevance of your storyline and I try to interweave it whenever I can, which is how I was able to interweave Locke into the Retribution, which was interwoven with Phil's like dark god thing, which was interwoven into the main storyline of the Necromans. That's just an example of how it was done. None of that was pre-planned. That was okay. So you've got this. All right, let me use that. I'll throw that in there. I can rock this in. I can wrap that in. That's kind of the way it is. So the players have what I would consider to be the most freedom that is reasonably possible to develop their story and yet still have a structured narrative. So at least that I could do.
Yeah.
So.
And I like you used to fill in like we have a lot of freedom, but things that are currently that like technically outside of your characters, like I can't determine that like I have 11 relatives as CEOs of the corps. I can't really determine that. Like I can think that, but that may not be the case because like so let's say if Phil, for example, he wanted his deity to be like something else. Like if something else fits better in the story, we can be adaptable and like we can change things to fit the story as long as they don't, change or the character or break the character. Like we have to be adaptable to get the stories to meld well, and as long as it still fits in, it should be good.
Yeah. I agree on that. Because I feel like some people, I had to actually ban like 1 or 2 people from my chat during Callous Row RP, unfortunately, because people were trying to like metagame. They're like, "Oh my god, don't trust that person. They're gonna kill you. They're betraying you. Like, go to the clinic, kill her." I'm like, no. I don't know if any of you guys had to deal with that, with like people trying to metagame.
Look at chat when I'm streaming.
I do when I'm walking around.
That's a
chat while streaming.
This is a question I have, like, for, I guess, the panel. I'm not really sure how I should stream Callous Row, because I tried it for a bit, and it just ended up, I was too nervous about, I guess the content of it, that I wasn't actually doing anything.
I turn it off. I press start, and then I don't look at it until I'm done.
Oh. I mean, well, for me, I just mute myself. Well, obviously when I'm engaging in roleplay, talking to somebody, whispering as I do or whatever, I don't look at my chat. But if I'm just walking around like point A to point B, if I'm going to the clinic and I have to walk like 2 minutes, then I'll just briefly look at my chat and like mute myself and then tell like my chat what I'm thinking or doing as my character. I'm like, oh, I'm going to betray this person. Oh, I'm going to steal this gun or whatever. Like I'll tell chat my motives and what I'm doing for the episode. Like I have like a checklist. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to the clinic, get my pills, talk to this person. Okay, well, let's talk. Okay, this guy's an asshole. Fuck him later. We'll screw around with him later. That's kind of my idea. Like what I like to do when I stream Callous Row. I kind of tell the chat my motives and what I'm doing, stuff like that.
So like you flip the switch on and off.
For what do you mean by flip the switch?
Like you're acting, did you not? And you're acting, did you not?
Well, I'm always whispering because I have to, but yeah, in a way. I'm flipping off.
So other things you can do is you can also mute and talk as your character's thoughts.
Yeah.
That's what I end up doing.
Which can explain, reasoning, things like that. You can also go into the VR booth to, we have that there for a reason so that you can make subs and bits and stuff. That's literally why that's there. That's why that's there, so you can do that. But that's how you should do it. Like,
you brought the thought thing. I meant to show this to you, but if like there's a character that has like a thought reading power, I could do. Where is it?
A mind reader, a fortune teller.
That's hard.
Man, Arcanum sucks. He's kind of cool actually. That's weird.
Reminds me of that. The one guy who streamed GTRP, he would do that. Like he would have a character that was basically like an anime protagonist and just honestly like have that effect and constantly like, wow, that girl's really hot. It's just like you, but they have to pretend they don't hear it. It's funny. It's like, oh god, I really think Rook's really hot right now. What?
There's definitely there's many ways to do it for sure. like everything from ignoring chat to doing breaks or doing like Rebel's doing doing it when there's downtime or just, doing it like thoughts. There's so many ways to do it. You know, it's just to do it whatever fits your style.
What I do is I stream. I don't even look at it. I just fucking just do things. That's what works for me.
Yeah.
Honestly, you just have to do it. That's really the way it is. Just do it. Just be honest. Do your best. Show them what you can do. Clippity clap. Slap, slap, blap, blap. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
Clap, clap, slap, slap. Got it.
I guess I took my method from like the GTA RPers because some of them do voices and like when they're in character they like change their voice like hey what's going on guys, and then when they're talking to the chat they just talk normally. So that's where I adapted my idea from.
That's the easiest.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So.
But not everybody can do voices, so you know
Yeah.
you gotta.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel bad. Like I made this event. Let's go back to chat questions.
All right.
Will Partybot return?
Oh yeah, Partybot.
Bro. Partybot never left.
Partybot's
He's still
eternal.
partying.
He's eternal.
Never die.
Oh yeah.
I kind of just thought of an idea. What if he had like a disco ball as like an afro?
I'm still thinking back to when I made Afro Rook. Don't worry about it.
Afro Rook the mustache and everything.
I should have saved that.
Oh,
I had it
Rook
somewhere.
before he joined the GU military.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just partying on the dance floor.
What's a
Like
character?
college looks like. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
What's a character you would like to see in Callous Row? I like to see like a robot pimp.
I want to see corporate characters, actual full-on corporate characters. That's what I want.
Yeah.
There's not enough of them, and we need more of them.
Okay, my favorite scene in the entirety of Callous Row happened in the epilogue between Bringus and Brunswick. So that's what's his name?
Locke.
Norman is Bringus's character, and Locke is Brunswick's character. Because it was just like this thing that you kind of just like. I didn't even realize it would be built up to that he was even because Locke had said stuff about things that and Norman was right there listening. So like this whole thing, like he's got this whole wealth of knowledge about Locke as a person in character that he's just kind of holding over his head that he could just tell the corporations whenever he wants. It's so good.
That was really good. That's gonna fuck everyone
basically,
over.
Basically the epilogue ended with Locke under Norman's thumb, basically.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I
shit,
love it.
dude.
Fucking
It was
good.
beautiful.
So good. I'm so excited for more like corporate shit.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
made
and,
Norman my
like-
favorite character in Callous Row.
Damn. I feel like he's been the
I can't
silent
wait to see that.
character the whole time. Sorry to cut everyone off. He felt like he didn't really have much, and now he does. Anyway, neither.
I can't wait to see like the basic like Dave or like just because there's gonna be a lot more people. So I can't wait to see like the generic guy who's just happy for no reason, then he just dies.
Oh, like a John Smith, like just like, oh hey guys, welcome to Callous Row.
How you do?
He just like dies. Bo just shanks him. You didn't pay. You didn't pay. I'm dead.
But yeah, like I saw this in chat a bit earlier, but I think T Dyson said like some people were concerned about how much DM support core players would need or have. But I think I know me and Kim talked about it, but yeah, like at least the plan is for next season, at least if possible, to have a DM per map, so we can have a person in charge of both like handling the map stuff, and even like
I can answer that.
Delegated to storyline stuff.
Yeah, so each map is going to have like a home story, right?
Yeah.
And then that story will be ran by that DM. And that DM will also be playing a character who won't have reason to leave their home map, so that they can also act as a lobby host. And we'll have a couple other lobby hosts that can do that as well, that are going to be characters that are unlikely to leave the map, so that way they're always there, or have a high percentage chance of being there, so that... Yeah. So the idea is this. So we're going to have travel points in between each of the each of the different maps. So like if I wanted to go to the Undercity and I was in the row, I would go to the sewer, and then I would get on the gondola, and then I would request, and I'd sit on the gondola until the request went through, and then I'd click that. And then I could RP like traveling or talking to someone else if there was someone with me, all that stuff. We would just request, and then we would just sit there and wait. Request comes through, boom, bam, load into the map. We arrive at the gondola on the other map. So that way we have travel time. We can use more than one map, and we can therefore put more detail into those maps and basically allocate resources a little bit easier instead of actually having everyone on the same map. Because while I think we did really well with what we were given, the fact that we constantly kept pushing VR chat's like threshold
limits
means that there were a lot of scuffed things that perhaps couldn't have been scuffed if we had not had as many people. So this was the solution, is that we would do it in this way. Now, that isn't going to change everything. That's going to cause lag spikes when people load in, obviously.
Yeah.
But considering the fact that because we were pushing it so hard, people were crashing and had to load in anyway, this will at least make that problem have purpose rather than just to be a problem in the first place. So
yeah. And as an example, like of course it's nice to have a full DM, but that's not always needed if it's not hectic stuff going on. Both me and Arcadium, our characters can always like, hey guys, I'm just gonna go back in the kitchen and do some stuff, and technically take a break out of RP and then just do DMing and then come back 10 minutes later. Oh, I just clean the dishes, or I just like sort out the back room, or took a toilet break, or like many characters, like at least who have a shop, and like they can always like have someone else take over the shop, or like close the shop for a short while and then do the necessary DM stuff, or for the
and something
stuff,
else,
and
something else that this ties into that was a big problem actually that we had. It's not a big problem, but it was a problem that was a necessary evil in order to establish season 1, and that was everyone was involved in everything. And that isn't always a good thing, because one of the complaints that I had from a lot of the players that they felt that their individual character didn't get a lot of development. And it wasn't because they were ignored. It's that because everyone is involved in something, that means to a certain extent nobody is involved in it, not really. And there will always be people that will be the focal point because they're the ones that instigated it, or it has something to do with them, or whatever. So what will end up happening is, because all these things are constantly happening and all these people are involved, there's no time for organic development that can happen naturally over the course of people interacting with each other normally. Like, people complain that there was too much action in Callous Row. But here's the thing. There were only 5 planned violent actions in Callous Row. There were only 5 that I actually planned. Every other violent action was caused by player interaction. It was caused by player-generated problems. So that's why we had so many episodes. That's why the meme of, oh, it's a chill night actually came up. Because it came up because people kept doing shit to make it not chill. Like, one of the chill nights, for example, was when I was playing the Woto scientist who was going to the Grove to explore it.
Yes.
And what happened was that like half of the row showed up and just killed him and like kicked his body down into a hole. Like, that was not supposed to be a violent encounter, but they made it so I'm like, all right, well, now I have to do the natural concourse of Woto is going to respond, and then I just walked through there with the death squad and started blasting people. And that was something that I didn't want to do, but player action made it necessary. So my hope is that this time around, because we're going to have home maps, people, and this isn't to dissuade interaction, but people won't be involved in everything by the sheer fact that they are proximate to it. Because that's the reason why a lot of people got involved, because something would happen and you literally can't help but hear them because you're over here. There's just not enough distance between it to actually like make the difference. So and that's considering that the map is even as big as it was that we made it, there was still not enough room. So hopefully by making the maps maybe not necessarily as big as the old one was, but making them more detailed with more functionality, but making them separate will actually lead to this concourse of focus.
I think it's also another thing. It's before maps were basically, if you walked like all the way down, it was basically a long line. Of course, they were like it was like a road like 3 lanes wide, but it was always like wide enough for you to hear someone shoot if they were standing in the middle, basically, like all the way from the plaza to down the city. But the way we're building it now is we're building both maps wider. So like in the Undercity, there was a lot of dead ends. Like if someone was standing like at the entrance, and they had basically the entrance and the ladder like cornered, you were stuck down there. You couldn't escape. You were like you were trapped basically. But the way I'm building the Undercity now is that every single area has at least 2 or 3 entryways, and so basically it's going to basically be impossible for a force less than 15 or whatever to like hold an area or like cover every exit. So it's gonna be like a more dynamic movement and people to actually like move around. And same thing for the main row where we're expanding another basically row to the side. So it's gonna be more of a square than just a rectangle. So all of that allows people to move around more freely and feel less I guess less trapped and less like they can actually choose to walk away. Like if someone was standing in the middle of the Callous Row firing guns, you couldn't really walk past it. You could like stand in the alleyways, but you're always at risk of getting cornered there or something. So it was never really like you could of course go to the Undercity, but then the bunker and the grove happened. But, so like I think with the way we're building the map, or at least for next season, it's going to alleviate a lot of those issues with both double maps and buildings wider.
Yeah, because we need more antagonist characters, and it was very hard for anybody to play a corporate antagonist character because they're the antagonists because they were always surrounded. And another thing, and now this is just a natural concourse of the RP being new, but people are way too nice to each other in the row.
Yeah, for sure.
Like they were way too cool with each other at the beginning. Like Dogu, like Gambit talked about this. Dogu was given a home in like what 1-2 episodes maybe.
I refused for a long time. It was like 5 or 6 episodes in it. I'm like, okay, he's enough of a dumbass to finally fall for this.
Yeah, but the point is that he was getting offers like like people were letting him into his house. Yeah, first day. Becky's the same way. Like people were way too cool with each other too quickly. Like there was not nearly enough gray area. But that is an unfortunate side effect of the RP being new and everybody wanting it to go smoothly, and they're afraid of drama and conflict because they don't understand what the methodology behind it is. Because I've seen that a lot, that you play characters that don't like each other, and people take that drama and it causes a lot of fucking problems, stuff like that. So I try my best to do what I can with it, but that's just kind of how it went down. So it was really hard to play an antagonist character because you were just outnumbered. There was no people were too solidified in their defense. Like that's why Coach Eric seemed like the antagonist, because he was the viewpoint that was against Rooks.
Yeah.
But he didn't actually do anything antagonistic. He just disagreed with me, and even then he was like ostracized. So people were way too like
buddy
firm and together. Like they were way too unified.
Yeah.
For how it would actually be. Like, and that's something that hopefully by separating people into their home maps and like establishing, okay, these are the people you live with, these are the people that you interact with, and maybe try to make some of the more characters separated and more strangered, like make them more like strangers and stuff. Maybe we could start to incorporate some more stuff. But I think the most important thing in the map separation is that the corporate people have their own area to do, let's call it day-to-day role play, and then they only come to the row when they have to, and they come to the row with guards and with a specific purpose, and they can get in and get out type of thing.
Yeah.
I
agree.
There's gonna be sunlight.
Sunlight.
That's the plan.
I agree everything you said, because I feel like sometimes they would kill like the scientist or kill like whatever drone or whatever corporate drone, and like now the corporate, like I would have had nothing to do with any of that stuff. I would just mind my own business, and like they're like, we're gonna kill this drone. I'm like, why like why would you do that? I don't get it. And then I would just be like, I guess I gotta hide for 30 minutes, or this episode is now me hiding in a corner whispering to myself.
that's one thing I had trouble with, like, during the roleplay is I don't know how, like, threatened or scared I should be. Like, when Sci-Fry, when his first character died and he came back as that, like, mercenary guy with a big sword and he had that drone following him, like, I didn't, like, is that a bad thing? Is it corporate? Do I hide? Like, well, how do I play this? Do I ignore it? So there wasn't a lot to go off of, and everybody asked around just kind of said, well, I don't know, let's keep an eye on it. And that, and I don't, one thing I couldn't tell for a long time is how magic is actually treated. Because, when I first, when I first got the aura on my avatar and I used it by accident in front of you, I was like, oh, I guess I'm done. All right.
Well, I knew you used it by accident, so I didn't make a big deal about it. But what you're saying is right. It's magic is supposed to be distrusted, and while some characters kind of have portrayed that correctly, many didn't. Many were way too okay with it, and I mean before they actually like explained. Like I'm sure some of them are like, oh, I don't mind magic because my character doesn't mind. I'm like, okay, well, yes, but because this is what's so hard about establishing a new IP, like. Because you have to set the rules and they have to be consistent, and the exceptions have to be explained. This is why anime is so garbage sometimes. Because hold on, just a quick tangent here. That's why it's like that. That's why you get these things where characters give you these weird descriptions that seem completely inhuman because they need to explain some exposition thing so you know what the hell's going on, and they only have 20 minutes to do it. Like. That's why anime is the way that it is. That's why it's such a difficult medium to tell a substantial story in, because, like, okay, boom, I gotta have the action, I gotta have this guy explain that dragons are girls for some reason, and he needs to do it in a way that isn't him talking to the screen. You know, like, it's hard, dude. It's hard to do it, and that's why I think Season 2 is going to be a chance for us to actually start telling the stories that I wanted to, because now we have canon, we have lore established, we have people's roles well defined, and now we can start doing like the weird shit. Like I can get religion involved, I can get the corporate underworkings, because everybody's been kind of exposed a little bit to what each of the different corps stand for and stuff. So here's hoping. That's the idea.
And it's to fill in for one second. Like, I also think with the way we're kind of slotting people currently, so basically any character. Any character who basically like is like I am very anti-corp, I am like I'm a rebel, like all those characters currently have been slotted into the Undercity, and every character who is more like corp neutral or corp friendly are gonna be in the main row, at least to start off with. And that can kind of like so instead of having everything be like, you know, more fluid and like I guess like aggressive as was last season, they can be like corp can feel like somewhat, you know, safe to walk around in the main row and without, you know, a full team of guards. But you know, if you're a like obvious corporate person, you don't want to go alone into the Undercity, you know, or maybe not even at all, because the Undercity is at least with how it's going to be next season, it's going to be like you can't really bring a full team of big droids because they have to sit in the fucking boat. The boat's going to sink, you know. It's not really going to, you know, so it's, you know, it's definitely going to be like harder to just like either brute force or like, you know, go alone into the Undercity. So it's going to be like quite more like dynamics, with corps feel a bit safer in the main row and then the Undercity, and then reverse for the magic people.
Yeah, that's the idea behind it, is we want to have that level of separation. But like, all right, let me tell you my ideal setup. Right, let me tell you the image in my head. So someone in the corporate map who's a lieutenant of, like, let's say Wodo, right, knows that the Grove has been regrown, and that's possibly. Maybe we could turn some of that into a profit. Okay, I need a Grove soil sample so I can show it off to my boss. All right, boom. What's that? That's the beginning of a quest line, because now that lieutenant corporate guy might tell one of his corporate underlings, hey, go to the row, find me Shadowrunners that can take it from the Grove that are willing to work for it, right? Offer them this much money. Let's say, boom, 100,000 credits. Okay, whatever, just as a number to throw out there. All right, then that guy goes to the row with a couple guards and he starts asking around who wants to get paid, and then they find out, oh, let me go ask this guy, let me go ask Rook. All right, comes and asks me, and it's like, hey, I got a job, I need a soil sample of the Grove. Now let's pretend for a moment that I'm not allied as closely as I am with the mushroom people, right? Let's just assume that that's the case, right? So then I'm like, okay, well, here's the deal. I could get you some boys to do that, but it's going to cost you this much. Boom, 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 boom. 100,000 credits. He gives it to me, and then I take 20% off as the fixer's fee, and I give that 80,000 as a reward. Okay, so now I call people to come to the bar, and they're like, oh, hey, what's up? We're from here. And I'm like, one guy shows up, like, hey, I need you to find some people that are willing to rob the Grove. Most people in the row like the Grove. They don't want to rob them. So he's like, fuck, well, I need more people for this. I'm going to go to the wasteland. I'm going to go to Scrap Town and find some people who don't give a fuck about trees. Right? They go there. Hey, you boys, you want to make some money? It's like, hell yeah! You know, they come.
Hell yeah, bro!
They follow them back to the row. You know, they come back to the row, and then you got two wild, crazy-ass motherfuckers, and one guy is just trying to make some money. They go down on the row. They do some sleuthing, some sneaking. They take the soil sample, and they bring it back to me. Boom, fixer thing's done. Goes up to the corporate guy. Boom. Now he goes to a board meeting room, shows it off in front of everybody else, and everybody has their inner anime monologue. I can't believe it. You know, all that shit. And then we have just completed one rotation of a story that can be repeated 18 times across the board simultaneously.
Yeah, and
that
then and we're pushing it.
Is the plan.
Yeah, and we're pushing a story arc one direction.
Yeah, and then the overarching storyline of Wodo's trying to make this happen can be progressed. Like, that's what we're doing. We're involving everybody across the board in different aspects all at the same time. It's going to be hard, but most things worth doing are hard, so. Yeah, that's the idea, at least.
I kind of want everyone in the wasteland to sound like a cake on a hillbilly. That'd be funny. Come on, brother. Let's get them soul hampers. Come on, boy. Yeah, I want it.
Australian.
I'm K Koning. I'm pogging.
Hell yeah, brother. We got them soul samples, boy. We're gonna get paid. Anyway.
I found dirt.
I found some dirt. Is that what we're looking for?
We got dirt right here. Why don't we just use this dirt?
I mean, so someone asked in chat if Dr. Universe will have her ghost out of her apartment. I don't know. Maybe. Depends on how heavy medication she is on to stop those hallucinations.
I was supposed to steal her
bad thoughts.
Wheelchair and soup it up and make it like into a Hot Wheels wheelchair. Pretty dope. Anyway,
I don't understand why she's not getting legs. She needs to get some robot legs.
Yeah. Or just get her some robo legs. Yeah, true, actually.
Yeah. Just walk instead.
Yeah,
just walk, forehead.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think we'll wrap it up here. We've been going for literally 2 hours, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
good
well, I like to say, actually,
Very cool.
I think I fucked up the camera angle. Whoopsie daisies. There you go. Now it's on the whole set. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody for stopping by. Thank you to everybody for coming by for the Callous Row podcast. Just as a reminder, I'm getting actually a new talk show world after doing like 155 interviews. So next week I should have my new talk show world. Be a lot more fancy than this world. And I actually have like up to 40 people in the audience actually watching and me being part of the show. And have like halftime shows and having a lot more segments and games and a lot more stuff planned. So yeah, thank everybody for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already hit that follow button and you've got a Twitch Prime, toss it. Just saying. Anyway, I'll put down the I'll go down the list here, and everyone can say after sign off. Hey, clappers in the chat. Thanks. Anyway, starting off with Arcadum, if you want to go down the list and just say, like, hey, I'm Arcadum, check me out, or whatever.
I'm Arcadum. Check out these guns, bro. Oh my god.
Hell yeah. This
You know who I am, or you don't. They're more important. Go. I'm good, bro. Go ahead, Neither.
I'm Neither. Hi, I do a lot of charity work, and I dance.
Yeah. Very good dancer, yes.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Kier. I spend most of my hours working on Callous Row. I just did a short 9-hour stream before this. Yes. short anime stream working Callous and I can't even for me. Yes, harder, papa, harder. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, now sketches.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Sketcher. I'm Sketcher Dev on Twitch. I also stream working on stuff, usually alongside Kier at the same time. Working on stuff.
Nice.
Hot.
No.
Spats?
I'm Spatzula. I do mostly art stuff on Twitch, but you'll find when Callous Row starts back up, you'll have Callous Row too, so that's what I do.
Booza?
Well, I guess I want to say for those on the fence, or maybe people who may not know what this is, you know, please show Callous Row a lot of support and love. This is something we really believe in. I'm Booza, of course. I will be streaming Callous Row, and probably only that when Season 2 picks up. But, you know, please check it out if you haven't. Check the wiki page, and look forward to, like, you know, the development and stuff. There's a lot of amazing things I feel like maybe we forgot or weren't able to bring up. A lot of heads and hands are in this, and it's, you know, like you guys said, it could be like the first of its kind. So please show some support if you're interested. You can go.
Alright, well, I'm Gambit. I don't stream very much. I do stream Callous Rows when it's on, you know. Been working on stuff. I do models and all this other stuff. I might end up streaming when I get more into, actually, once Kier gets to a point where he really needs the help with working on the map, I might end up streaming that, but we'll see.
Next week, Smile.
Next week, Smile?
Okay.
Most of what I've been doing is just programming, so it's not really something you'd want to watch.
We need to do the conversion to Udon literally next week, please.
Yep. Alright. I got you.
Anyway, thank everybody for stopping by. I appreciate you. We're gonna go raid/host somebody on, I guess, the VR chat category. If anyone has any recommendations, I'll take it. Before anyone goes, we'll take a photo, but we'll raid somebody, and then we'll just take a photo. I like to take photos, you know, remember things. Anyway, let's go raid somebody real quick. Give somebody some love in the chat.